It's time once again to go racing.
It does not get any better than this.
The pressure is really on now.
Yes, it's pole position. Lights out and we're racing in PSGL.
The first lap has been absolute chaos.
What an overtake.
Oh no!
I've never seen anything like it.
Side by side again. This will be settled right at the end.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome to PSGL F2 on the PC side, round number 12 of season 30 here at Interlagos in Brazil. My name's King Kodiak. I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's escapades. Joining me in the commentary box, I'm very glad to say once again, it's Jess.
Hello everybody, glad to have you back, Chris, after you missing last week. It's back to normal, it's great to see. Thank you to Joshua Davis, by the way, for stepping in your absence. It was a great race last week. We saw Sabaconye won the race in USA just about as well, and we saw the likes of obviously Duncan Hoffland got a podium as well, his first of the league, I believe, or actually his first in a while, actually, so that's great to see. And we're also seeing Simon Peregni actually take the lead of the championship this week after, obviously, his podium in the first round after our mini break weeks, she's the desync, and then he got 6 points in USA. It's hard to see our understandings because the standings are still wrong with the flags at the moment. So, but anyway, Simon Peregni is leading by 5 points, but he's leading 16 points to Luke Smith, who is technically second place, but he needs to gain a few more points to beat Thomas Warnhart at the moment. But the podium from Duncan Hoffland last week has allowed him to go into 4th place in the standings. Indeed,
true. Now, interestingly, Simon Peregni is not here. Quite a few driver changes this time around due to absences. So let's have a quick look at who is standing for who. So Simon Peregni is being replaced by István Pukki. Sam Corby is being replaced by last week's winner Bente Sabaconye. Manolo Villar is being changed by Georges Nader. Primož Miklovic is Ryan Jacobs. We are missing Mr. Svetkov and Oscar Villacampa. I don't think we have replacements for them. I believe we have 16 drivers on the roll for tonight. But let's have a quick look at what we have got in store. And there it is, the wonderful Interlagos. Such an epic, such an old circuit, 15 turns and 4.3 kilometres. Well, I say 15 turns, a few of them don't really exist, let's be honest. So, let's head down to track, shall we, and see what the weather is doing. I don't know that it's doing a lot. No, we don't want that one. We want that one, don't we? Come on, Kodiak, you're not that bad. Right. It is indeed 16. Ooh, it's a bit cloudy out there. That's not looking so good. I haven't got my track back, but fail. Right, let's get this on. Doing all the buttons wrong again. Wow, not many people coming out to play. We're only seeing a few coming out now. A few minutes have passed of quali as we can see, but not really anything has happened. Luke Smith has come out on the medium tyres, but no one else looking to do a great deal at the moment. We have Jordan Poland and Norbert Jakob in the Ferraris, Joost Noordijk and Duncan Hoffland in the Mercedes. We have got Luke Smith in the Alpine. Who's joining him? It's André Terbukin. Carter Lundy, we have got in the Aston Martin. He hasn't moved. We've got, there's Georges Nader. He hasn't moved either. Now a few more people are getting out there and on board. We've got Jeffrey Ritchie. Olaf Soko joins us again. There's István Pukki and Jonah Martins in the Alfa Romeos. As we see, Luke Smith had already binned his lap and letting people come past him to start their out laps. Danny Lusink, we saw, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. He's in the house. He's about to find a whole face full of traffic. There's Ryan Jacobs joining Ruben Pedronio, and our winner at Kota, it is indeed Bent Sabaconi. Oh, why is my camera facing sideways? Because my controller is bedded itself on the floor. Goodness me, it's going really well. God, I'm not making every amateur mistake in known history. Good grief, we'll be fired before the end of the season. So there's no one with a lap on the board. What's your thoughts about Interlagos, Jess?
Well, in the past, it's hosted the championship finale in a few occasions in PSGL. The first season in a while in PC tier especially, where it has not hosted the championship finale, but it still hosted some crazy races, insane races actually in real life. Remember 2008 is that Glock moment where we saw Lewis Hamilton won his first ever championship as well, and last year actually we saw Lewis technically do a last to first last year, which was pretty amazing, not gonna lie. He had a good car for it as well. Not so much this year. Sabaconye, last week's race winner, comes across the line into P1, and tyre degradation is pretty good around this, so we're not going to see the hards at all, I don't think, unless it's a safety car. It should be an easy one-stop race, soft to mediums or medium to soft. I'm trying to remember if the alternate strategy could work. Yes, it could work actually, because the delta is about 1 second, so we could see people try go for 11th place, but not as much as other tracks, so we will see what happens. More times are on the board, of course. Danny Lusink in 4th. Joost Noordijk comes across the line in P3. George, actually an interesting driver. He's come from the PS side. He raced in the F1 tier not so long ago as well. So his first race on the PC. So best of luck to him.
Excellent stuff. Yep, times are rolling in. Ben Sabaconi still at the top of the tree with a 106.365. Of course, it being a very short lap compared to the rest of the calendar, we will see the gaps between each driver very, very close indeed. So a couple of people in the pits. Luke Smith had binned both of his laps and literally going through the centre S's, and Georges Nader has binned that one as well. And that's the thing, isn't it? Because the lap time is so short, the margin for error is really, really narrow. So you've got to really utilise every pixel available to you that you can. So pushing that a little bit too hard is made that much easier. Everybody looking at the soft tires now. Brazil is a little bit temperamental when it comes to weather. We could be facing some rather inclement weather. If anybody in chat knows, by all means bung it in there or leave us in the dark, entirely up to you. I've forgotten to open the chat window again, so any abuse you wish to hurl at me, feel free, because I won't see it.
I got the chat open, so it's all good.
Luke Smith is straight back out there, so he's ditched those medium tyres, straight back out to a set of softs. Interesting, Ben Sabaconi has actually done 2 laps on those soft tyres. He's on another one. So he's,
does that mean it's going to rain at the start?
Well, that's why I'm wondering. Either that, or he's just in a hurry to get back to the pits. Ruben Pedronio, top of the tree. No, that's 3 time laps on those soft tyres, and he's pole. And he's pole by 0.07 of a second. I cannot remember the last time I've seen 3 time laps on soft tyres anywhere.
Yeah, I haven't either as well. I'm a bit shocked about that, because 3 laps on those softs at the start of the race is not going to be ideal. And we know at 106.2, I have to say it's a decent lap for F2, I have to say. It's pretty incredible, so it's going to be hard for people to beat that. And I think we've got a few people going into the pits. We've got Duncan, who's just come across the line on 2 lap old soft. So Sabaconi is not the first driver to go on more than a lap old soft, which is very, very weird. But we still got people on the mediums. That is Jonah Martins and George Nader. So that is a bit confusing, not gonna lie. But we have seen I think I remember 2003 where we saw wet weather and loads of people spun after the centre S or something, and we thought that was a dangerous corner in the wet. Hopefully we don't get that tonight if it rains. Luke Smith is just about to start his run. He's going through set to 2 now as Duncan Offler moves out the way.
Indeed, that's Beaker de Pato, how he's coming up to. Now, I will try and get the corner names right. I am likely to butcher them. You have been warned. Mugello down to Junshao, and then up the hill through the... well, I've not seen this name before, so the Subdida du Boxes. I'm sure that's not entirely how it's pronounced. And that's, Jeffrey Miguel taking a bit of an unusual route to get out of the way. But Race Clutch's own Luke Smith jumps up to third with a 106.396. Now, half a second separates first to 12th, which, again, at Interlagos, that's not entirely surprising. Joost has had a problem. He's in 7th at the moment with a 106.489. So, what is he, 11 thousandths off the back of his teammate Duncan Hofland. So, yeah, a lot of people back into the pit. Jonah Martins is indeed out there on the medium tyres, going particularly slowly through the duckbill or the Beaker de Pato in the Alfa Romeo, just winding up for a bit of a run now. I know I wouldn't be surprised to see multiple laps done on the medium tyres. I guess doing multiple time laps on soft tyres is less detrimental here because the lap is so short, and like you say, Jeff, the tyre deg is not excessively high, so doing multiple laps on the same set of soft tyres isn't too bad. What's your Jonah Martins has had a big spin and stuffed it into the wall at just coming down towards the centre S's, where big chunk of front wing missing. That's the end of that one, but he's got time to get in, get that fixed and back out on the field. What's your thoughts of this track from a driver's perspective, Jess?
Well, there are loads of opportunities where you can get some overtakes done as well. Well, people would want the DRS heading into turn 4. We can see moves there as well. And I think we could see an interesting tactic like we saw in USA, Jeddah, where people do not want to have the DRS in turn 1. And people may try and go in down the inside into turn 1 as well and get the move, but sometimes it does not work out. So we could see people going 3 wide potentially as well. We could see someone lower down come on to win the race. We saw that with 2012 where Vettel got damaged, I remember, at the start of the race, and he never gave up and he still went on to win the race and the title as well. So anything can happen here in Formula 1, and it usually does. We usually see people go or overtake on the inside of turn 14 as well, but it's hardly unlikely. So it's going to be turn 1 and 2 and heading towards turn 4 will be the overtaking chance as well. But the sector 2, the long sector 2, the windy sector 2 can be tricky, and if you go wide there, it could be invalidation, or if it's in the race, a time penalty, as George is going into turn 4 now, as he almost invalidated there. He's using a lot of the track limits there at the moment. Carl Lundy's also on the mediums as well. We'll see what he can do. More yellow flags as people move out the way, or is it someone that's binned it? It's Jordan Poland has just finished his lap. Okay, that explains it. But yeah, so many battles that can happen in so many corners. I think we're going to have a similar amount of action to what we saw last week as well. So it should be exciting.
Yeah, this will definitely be one to remember. Yeah, Jordan Poland jumping up to second with a 106.284, just hundredths of a second ahead of Pedroni. Isran Pukki has gone across the line. Was fourth briefly as Olaf Soko has now come over the line. 200ths further improved again from Jordan Poland, but still Benti Sabaconi at the top of the tree with a 106.222. He's out there again in the Red Bull, just about across the line. Does he improve? Yes, he does. A 106.156 on the board for the soft shod Red Bull. Yeah, again, we're not seeing too many medium runners out there. So George Nader is out there. Is he pressing? Well, he's pressing on. Oh, that's I think it was Jeffrey Ritchie that's just set a time. Yeah, 106.856 I think for him. Leaves him in third.
Close.
It is indeed very, very close out there. But whoa, was that a McLaren that was? I think it was a McLaren that was rather stranded. Yep, it's Ryan
Jacobs
staying very much out of the way. I don't think he was stranded. He probably hasn't made a mistake. Well, he's made a mistake and invalidated his lap. I think he was just being very, very cautious and getting out of the way. Yep. I think he was. Well, it's effective to stay on the grass. That will certainly guarantee you stay out of the way. As we see Sabaconi then leading through. That will be Carter Lundy, our sole Aston Martin in tonight's festivities. Oh, I couldn't see who that was parked up on the outside. One of the Haas pair As no, we don't have a Haas pair. We only have a Haas singular. Danny Lusink was the one that was on the infield there. Who's about to cross the line? One of the Mercs.
Jens Nordijk, he's joined back and he's in P5.
Here it is, a 106.315 then for Joost Nordijk in the Merc. Who else shall we have a look at? Well, Sabaconi's still going. He has a thing for doing multiple laps on the same set of tyres. This does rather make me think, like we were saying earlier, that it is going to be wet weather. But then if that's the case, why is Carter Lundy trying to make those mediums work? Who knows? Still no time from Jonah Martins. Where are you? You're going through the Beta Pato now in the Alfa Romeo. Down the hill through Mugello and then into Junshao. What can he get on the board? So less than a second separates 15 of our 16 runners. Does Jonah Martins now get no time on the board as we come up through the hill over towards the line, stays over to the left hand side, and that's 13th with a 106.526. It's less than a second top to bottom.
Well, people that have been on 2-lap-old softs during qualifying or even 3-lap-old softs in qualifying, I probably know why now. It's meant to rain 30 minutes into the race. So it's starting off dry and then it's going to get wet.
Oh.
So...
And Brazil doesn't muck about when it comes to rain. They do rain better than we do here in the UK. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Everyone except for Jonah Martins now is back in the pits. Oh, as I think that's a Haas that's coming out to play. Well, yeah, yep, there he is. Is Danny Lusink that is now coming out. So rain towards the tail end of the race. Now, our races do tend to be around 45 minutes or so. For the 50% distance races. So, most of the race will be done in the dry. But when it will rain, it's always the big question mark, isn't it? Who's going to chance staying out those extra few laps? Or is it going to absolutely bucket it down? We've had rain intersect a few times in PCF2. And we'll see what happens here at Interlagos. So traditionally in Brazil, when it rains, it absolutely throws it down. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The drivers, well, we'll see. Do you like driving in the wet, Jess?
No.
Plain and simple, no.
I loved it on the last game, F1 2020. I enjoyed racing in the rain then, but on this game,
Yep.
It is very, very, very difficult, especially around Brazil as well, to keep it together. But to be honest, I find racing in the rain around Brazil easier than other tracks on this game. I don't like racing in the rain around Singapore, to be honest.
No.
But to be fair, we don't want to see what Carter Lundy did in Singapore again, do we? No. Let's hope he's learnt his lesson and actually picked.
Yes, he was determined to make that work, wasn't he? I mean, lesson learnt there, I suspect, Carter Lundy.
Yes.
But even still, we will see. Another race, another track, another day. And everybody's streaming out for the Banzai phase now. Only Olaf Soko is in the... Oh, no, beg your pardon. There's a couple more in the pits. Olaf Soko's just leaving the pits now with the Williams. And Jonah Martins, are you coming out the pits? No, you still seem to be there, along with the aforementioned Carter Lundy. No, Carter is out now in the Aston. So it's only Jonah Martins that has not yet left his pit box. He won't have long left to do anything about it. There is Sabaconi. Out, there we go, and out comes Jonah Martins now. So he's left that till pretty much the last available minute. Here comes Bense. Is he going to be able to improve? Was that Ruben Pedreño that's... Oh, I hate that noise. No, it was Danny Lusink, I think, that's just jumped up to 5th position in the Haas. Wow. 106.307 for the Haas driver then, to jump him up to 5th place. Everybody is either on a timed or hot lap now. It is do or die, feast or famine. Oh, Danny Lusink's about to catch a bit of traffic. Well done. That was Jonah Martins on his out lap, as well as I'm assuming that was Joost Nordijk. Oh, and that's Danny Lusink off the road. But he has already done a time lap on these tyres, so he didn't want to hold up the Alfa Romeo that's just gone past him. Very nicely done. Jordan Poland, 1/1000th of a second, and what the hell? Someone just drove sideways into the wall, it looked like. There. What on earth was that?
That That was quite insane, to be honest.
Yeah,
That was very weird.
It was Isfan Pookie just decided he was going to join the crowd, or it looked like it from that particular spot.
Well, he's invalidated anyway, so he's that's his qualifying over. But I think we still got a few people crossing the line. We got McLaren, which is Pedronio.
Oh, it was Pedronio, yeah. Fair enough, but yeah, here comes Sabaconi. Could not him. So he's had to back out of that particular lap then. So Lusink and Nordic have retired their cars in from the session. Checkered flag is out. Ryan Jacobs can do no more in the McLaren. He's brought that one into the pit lane. The other Red Bull, which is George's Nader. That's the entire field bookended by Red Bulls. That lap is invalid for George. He cannot do any more on that one. And Alpine coming over the line. That was Terry Buchan. Comes over the line, 9th, 106.326 on the board for him. One of the Ferraris that can't be. Well, it's Jordan Poland has done his. It's Norbert Jakob. No improvement, remains in 12th. Here comes Carter Lundy in the Aston Martin. Does he improve? Yes, he does. Up to 10th position with a 106.340 on the board for the Aston Martin. Who is next? I believe that's Jonas Martins. Yes, it is. No, he's back in the pits. He will do no more with that one. Is anybody else still on a lap? What about Jeffrey Ritchie? You are still on a lap. No, you've backed out of that one. Sabaconi's already done his. Duncan Hoffland, no, you've backed off. Ruben Pedronio, you've already done yours. So there we go. The grid is formed. It is Benzi Sabaconi and Jordan Poland on the front row for a potentially mixed condition Interlagos. Oh, lovely. Duncan Hoffland and Olaf Soko on the second row. And we've just had Primoz Miklovic has literally just joined us in the death of the session. He's started the car.
He's going to be starting last.
But fair play for turning up. I'm pretty sure we had you down as a non-attendee. Yes, you was actually Ryan Jacobs was supposed to be standing in for you. Well, Ryan Jacobs is here, so Primoz Miklovic is jumped into the other Aston. I mean, fair play for coming along. So 17 cars will now take the grid. I don't think I've ever seen someone join that late.
I haven't as well, but 1,000th of a second separating the top two. I've never
amazing.
seen that in ages. That is crazy. I want to see both of their laps actually from qualifying to see what made the difference between Sabaconi's lap and Poland's lap.
So then, just to run down, it is Benzi Sabaconi and Jordan Poland on row 1, Hoffland and Soko row 2, Istvan Pukki and Ruben Pedronio on row 3, Danny Lusig and Joost Noordijk on row 4, Andre Terrebuchen and Carter Lundy on row 5, Luke Smith and Ryan Jacobs row 6, Norbert Jakob and Jonas Martins row 7, Jeffrey Ritchie and Georges Nader on row 8, with the very, very late joining Primoz Miklovic at the tail end of the field. Ooh, right. Who's supporting who? Get your names into chat. Who are you cheering for? Let it be known, and let's get this parade lap underway. It seems to load in. Well, at the moment, it's pretty clear skies up there. We'll keep an eye skywards if the rain is going to arrive, if so and when. Of course, the drivers, most drivers would probably want it to stay away as long as possible, but there'll be some that'll try their arm and maybe risk a wetter setup, but I wouldn't have thought so. I would have thought most people would go for a dry setup because of how late the rain's supposed to arrive.
Yeah, definitely. I think you want to be going for a setup that you're going to use pretty much for... If it's wet, you need a wet setup regardless, but if it's dry for most of it, and there's hardly any rain, then probably a dry setup. Say like the race started wet and then it went to dry. I kind of wish it was a wet to dry session, but obviously not as well. And we could see people on the alternate strategy start on the mediums that could play once their favour, because they don't need to pit until lap 21, 22. So they're going to hope the rain's coming then. If it doesn't, they're gonna try and nurse their tyres until the point where it's in. It may not be enough for inters. It may just be soggy, but it's just enough for slicks, and they could be in a lot of trouble. And I'm just starting. Hopefully, you can get your predictions in the chat. Who you think's gonna win? Make sure you check out our sponsor, by the way, Grid Rival. We do have a fantasy league our F1 2022 Fantasy League. The link is in the description, and which the sponsor video was played at the beginning of the video. And it's perfect timing as well, because on Sunday, Miami's making its appearance as well, hence the fact the PS Leagues have got a break week. So F4 and F2 will be the last streamed races for quite a while, actually, before we go back to PC again. So no PS streams this week due to Miami, but we'll look at the ties and see what everyone's on. Obviously the top 10, I think all the top 10 qualified on the soft, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
And everyone outside of the top 10 on mediums, you know, your traditional dry start setup. So if the rain is going to happen, it's like I say, if 30 minutes into the race makes it very, very late. So we will see a few scattered clouds. So nothing in the air at the moment that's going to worry our drivers. There's a fair play, Primož Miklovic, for joining at the absolute death of the session. More drivers the better. I always enjoy a big pack of cars. I think we all do. But then we've seen some mighty races with smaller grids as well. That's Ben Sobekonian leading them through Junshao and through the final part of the lap. AI will now be taking them over for the grid to form, as this will lead us towards just a couple of rounds left of this monumental 30th season here at PSGL. And what the road ahead holds, we will see as the new game is looming. We very much look forward to that, but still plenty of racing left in season 30. Just waiting now for Primož Miklovic to weave his way towards the tail end of the field, now under AI control, as the Aston disguised McLaren, you could argue, is now going to take up its spots. Is the camera good? Yes, that's a pretty good camera for us to use. Sometimes you know what it's like, Jess. Sometimes the camera is absolutely hopeless when you point at the grid, but this one's a pretty good one. We should have an idea of who does well. We know this process. It is time to wind them up and let them. I always do this too early, I always do it too early, and off they go! It's what a start from Sobekonian! Struth alive, he absolutely took off Jordan Poland, had a terrible start. Duncan Offland's nailed him already before they got down through the center S's. Fair amount of jostling going on further back. Norbert Jakob has fallen prey to Ryan Jacobs. Now, as you see, Ben Sobekonian, was that impact there for Ryan Jacobs? The house is round! That's Lusink. Lusink is round. I think he's taken Tara Buchan with him. And Danny Lusink has retired from the session already. That's a virtual safety car before we've even completed a sector. Well, before we've completed 2 sectors, I should say.
Wow, I think Andre Tara Buchan got away with visible front wing damage. He may have the minor front wing damage. He's still going to be winning in that train, but he lost quite a few positions from it as well. Duncan Offland actually had a good start as well. Don't forget he started third and made his way all the way up into second place. So brilliant start for him as well. Pookie had a great start as well, and quite a lot of people have stayed their ground right now, but a few people like Andre and Ryan Jacobs have dropped away a little bit as well. The DRS trains will come active on lap 3, but at the moment Sobekonian is going to try and break free out of DRS, but Duncan is actually keeping on pace at the moment, going into the centre S's. Watch out for corner cuts as well. That could be time penalty worthy if they're not careful. Primož as well could get past George Nader, and George, can he get past Jeffrey Ritchie? No, he cannot. They all stay light astern at the moment. And we both got Jonah Martins. I think Jonah Martins picked up some damage, Chris, and I think Andreas picked some damage too. So both will go on to hards and means respectively. And not a bad choice, obviously, because we know that rain is looming.
Well, indeed. It was rather surprising me that the hard tyres have come out then, if that was the case. But Jonah Martins going on to those, but neither of them retiring the car, because that is something we do see if someone picks up early damage. Sometimes we see the drivers just park the car and not take any further part in the race. Not happening this time around. Fair dues. Everyone from 1st to 14th. Still in the DRS train when the DRS becomes available to our drivers, and that's when we're going to see who can play the defensive masterclass. And fastest lap, of course, changing hands a fair few times. Istvan Pukki currently has it in the Alfa Romeo. DRS now available to our drivers. And look at the gap that Sabaconni's managed to pick up for himself. Very nicely done. From Duncan Hoffland and then the rest of the field. Nobody yet trying to jostle for position. This will be when Sabaconi probably feels maybe a little bit more nervous than at any other point in the race, with everybody trying to bear down on him. We will see. At the moment, still maintaining that half-second gap to everybody else. Overtaking is certainly a challenge when the field is this tightly condensed. So we'll just jump on board with Primož Miklovic. He can see the entire field ahead of him, other than the two pitters, of course. And look at that, just everybody is just staying in each other's tyre tracks at the moment, trying to maximise any kind of slipstream, even on these really short runs through these corners, to try and gain any tiny advantage they can to overcome the car ahead of them.
I'm looking at Duncan Hoffland's ERS. He's managing a lot better than Sabaconi up front, so him being a little bit further behind has helped him a little bit. And could he get the slipstreaming in into turn one? No, Sabaconi closed the door very nicely, but Duncan Hoffland's going to have the DRS past the CNRS, but will it be enough? That straight line speed, by the way, that Sabaconi has got is absolutely brilliant. Again, will it be enough? Duncan Hoffland, could this be the first move into turn four in this race? No, not quite, but still closer than they were last lap. Jordan Poland couldn't get it quite done. It's going to be kind of like a chain reaction at the moment. They're pretty much all on the same percentage, around about the 70% mark, most of them as well. Unless you're Norbert Jakob, he's on 44, so he's in a lot of trouble, especially when there's less braking zones around this track. Less chance to really recharge your battery at the moment. Ryan Jacobs got even less ERS, so he's in 11th, but you need to score P10 or higher to score points. So he's got a lot of work to do, but we know he can do it. He does have the pace at times as well. And technically, these guys who are on the mediums are fighting for pretty much position if they could win this race if the rain comes at the right time for them. Maybe in the soft runners will try and stretch out a little bit longer as well. Duncan Hoffland takes lead of the race.
Yes, he did indeed. DRS down the start finish straight is going to be the most straightforward move for anybody to try and gain the place, and Hoffland absolutely nailed Benzi's Sabaconi into turn one. And the Red Bull doesn't quite have the answer just yet. Riding on board with Jordan Poland, you can see the Red Bull close in when he can, but it's going to be I think that's going to be lead tennis going on. Yeah, Hoffland has it now, and Sabaconi is likely to take that one back as we scream on down from Junshao right the way back through to the first turn again, as Jordan Poland nearly nudges the back of the Red Bull. That certainly won't help. Duncan Hoffland will be trying to probably work quite hard at this point to get away, but there's only a certain amount you can do without chucking your car into the dust. There's a very twisty circuit. You make a great point as well, Jess, that there's not a great deal many braking zones here, and what braking zones there are tend to be very short because you're not building up to a very high top speed in the first place. So ERS management in the dry phase at least is going to be of utmost importance. Through turn one down the CNRS is now another opportunity for the DRS to be useful for Sabaconi and crew. On that back straight, it looks like Ryan Jacobs has fallen off the back of Norbert Jakob as well, so he may not have, you can see the gap there actually, that goes between the Ferrari and the McLaren. So Ryan Jacobs doesn't have DRS here, and that is certainly going to hurt. It's going to really leave him vulnerable to the likes of Jeffrey Ritchie and George Nader behind.
Yes, I think we're starting to see the trains break up a little bit in the midfield, which is unfortunate for Ryan Jacobs, but good news if you're Jeffrey Ritchie. A bit of a surprise on people not getting penalties yet, though, so they are keeping it clean. I know some people on a few warnings already, though, so they've got to pretty much keep it clean for a little bit longer. They'll be on tender hooks at the moment, to be honest, as well. Running towards lap 7, you're just seeing the way these drivers take the curve. They're just so committed as well. If I was them, I probably would have gone into a spin, but Jeffrey Ritchie is going to get past Ryan Jacobs. But we'll just go on board with the top 3 and see if Jordan Poland can do anything about Sabaconi. He does not. Isvan Pruki does not do the same thing. Oh no, Ryan that's him out of the race. He's given up. He's called it quits. Bit of a shame for him. And he's left as well. So that makes it 2 retirements from the Brazilian Grand Prix. Top 4 remain line astern right now. They remain unchanged. Joost Noordijk. Oh, that was close between himself and Rubén Pedreño there in turn 4. I don't think he's going to get the run into turn 5, but Joost was almost there by a few 100ths of a second.
He's staying nailed to the back of the McLaren, but yeah, that is indeed Ryan Jacobs. Usually when you see the speeding in the pit lane warning, that does tend to be the precursor to them retiring. Actually, Ryan Jacobs' car's actually come back out on track, oddly. So quite white.
Goes out around Brazil, just ignore it.
Well. So that shouldn't affect anybody, as of course it will be a ghosted car. It will just cause yellow flags here, there and everywhere. We'll carry on nonetheless. The top 4 again starting to condense. Jordan Poland getting close to the back of Sabakonyi. Sabakonyi looks like he's going to try and make a move on Hofland, but no, does not commit to the inside line. He wants to try and make that move down into turn 4, down to the Decided Largo, as Georges Nader has actually gotten past Jeffrey Ritchie. Is the Red Bull now going to try and hit the Mercedes? Get the Mercedes! Oh, that's late! Let's say he's gotten side by side now. Can he get the move done before they get back up the hill? George Ferragura. No, the Mercedes is hanging on in there. No, Duncan Hoffman can't quite hold on. That's the lead back towards Sabakonyi. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would. Ooh, we saw there Heath Van Pookie having a bit of a look on the inside line of the Ferrari. Couldn't quite commit to that one. Oh, trouble for Nordijk. Trouble for Joost Nordijk. He's had a spin. It's a good thing he goes to that particular point, otherwise he would have joined the likes of Jeffrey Ritchie or Primož Miklovic in their cars. But oh no, that's disaster. That's going to be very, very hard to make back.
Yeah, it is as well. But if I was him, maybe think about, I don't know, would you pit if you get damage? I think you would. Let's go on to maybe another set of softs, maybe if the rain's going to come sooner. But the weather is set to approximate, so you never know what could happen. So it's safe to say, go on the mediums, or if he hasn't got any damage, he's staying out. So he's catching up to the train again. So no, pretty much he hasn't lost much. He just lost position pretty much as well. So he's still back in this race, and he can still come back with penalties at the moment. And I think we're starting to see Duncan still closing to Sabakonyi again. I'm just loving this battle between the top 3. It's absolutely amazing. We're not seeing any brave moves yet, but I think heading towards turn 7, I think we could see that towards the end. People just sending it, but that'll be in the rain as well, so it'll probably be a little bit more difficult to do. So if you want to get the moves done, you've got to get to do it before the rain period, because you're going to have no DRS, and you just got to find creative ways to pretty much overtake at the moment as well. Room Pedreno's starting to catch up as well. Let's see who has gained, actually, the most positions out of all the drivers.
Georges Nader.
George has gained 6 positions. Primož from last started 17th and he's gained 5. Jeffrey Ritchie's gained 4. And so did Norby Jakob. So they're their biggest gainers, as well as Carter Lundy and Luke Smith gained 3. Biggest loser out of the ones who stayed out, Joost Nordijk and Tara Buchanan. Primož is going to make it 6 positions gained to match up with George, up to 11, and he's already catching up to him.
Oh, there's lots of squiggling going on in that top pack. Sabakonyi didn't move, and Hofland just stayed in his tyre tracks. But Jordan Poland felt the need to defend against the Alfa Romeo behind him. Heath Van Pookie was again just following the Ferrari, and Olaf Soko had a great ringside seat for the entire festivities, kicking off ahead of him. Ruben Pedreno, there he is, and the McLaren is still in a prime position to attack should anything happen to those ahead of him. Right with Carter Lundy as well. Luke Smith doing a great job on the medium tyres to stay right with the soft runners. Now, at what point do you think, Jess, that the soft tyres are going to start to suffer a bit? Are they going to start to suffer about now, or will they last a bit longer?
I think the crossover point will be around about 12, 13, I would say, when they start to die a little bit, and then they'll, if it was a dry session, they would probably go into the mediums until the end of the race. But since obviously the rain is coming, they're going to stretch out a little bit more, I think, to make sure if they can do it. But we'll see. The undercut is powerful around here, so you pretty much got to pit before your rivals. And Jordan Poland's looking brilliant against Duncan Hofland. He's going to try and go the left-hand side line. Oh, that was tight as well. His Van Pookie not that far behind as well. His Van Pookie, by the way, brilliant job. I've seen him do some battles last week as well in USA, so he's still up there. Pretty much everyone.
Whoa!
Is that Jordan has been under pressure for Pookie once again. He's come out of nowhere. Could we see it through turn 9, 10, and 11? We'll have to wait and see. The
He's
first
got
time
him.
we'll see the move all race. He's done it. Fair play. He's caught me and Chris unawares. Istvan Pukki is on the podium. I don't think Jordan Poland was expecting that, and I don't think any of us was expecting that.
I'm not entirely certain Istvan Pukki expected it either, because that looked very, very late coming up into the essay before they're coming down towards Peronino, but he did get it done. Fair play. And that's put him right in the mixture for this Duncan Hoffman-Benzi Sabaconi battle for the lead. But Jordan Poland, as you can see, is nearly pushing. Whoa, Pedreño and Soko side by side coming through the center S's as well. McLaren versus Williams for 5th position. Who's going to win out on that one? Both of them are DRS heading down the start finish straight. Williams has nose into the lead. McLaren has the inside line. Bit of an oversteer from Soko, and that is what's denied the Williams that particular spot. Oh, love it. Love it. Let's have plenty of this.
That's why I like Brazil at PSGL. I commentated on PSF2 this season and it was amazing. And to be honest, this has given me the same vibes, the same memories of me commentating on Brazil and PSGL. So brilliant job. There's pretty much battles for the lead. There's battles for the podium. There's battles for like the mid points. There's battle for people getting into the points. There's battles everywhere, to be honest, and there's every position to fight for. And no one spot is safe at the moment right now. And I don't know why, but Duncan Hoffman was saving a lot of VRS. Sabacogne's in. Sabacogne's in. I did expect around about this time that the softs do tend to drop off, and that's what Sabacogne is thinking at the moment in the Red Bull. I wonder if Duncan Hoffman would have got the move done anyway. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if Soko can get past McLaren this time, or would he be denied once more? I think he'll be denied once more. He's on 34% ERS. He's not doing well with his ERS at all compared to like the likes of Jordan Poland and Duncan Hoffman. Ruben Pedreño's not doing any better either, so there we go. But we got 4 drivers on the softs in the pits. That's including Carter and Joost Noordijk as well, and Istvan Pukki too. So we'll see if the undercuts paid off then. Will the soft runners who are staying out stay out, or will they come in? I think they will have to come in because they're going to lose so much time because, well, it's 30 minutes. It's going to be roughly about lap 26-ish, roughly.
Thereabouts, yeah. Interestingly, that Sabaconi, Pukki and Lundy all stayed on softs. They were starting on softs and they remained on soft tyres. So in comes... Yep, that's the 4 remaining soft starters now, all in. The only one that of those that came in just now that changed tyre compound was Joost Noordijk. He's onto the medium tyres. So, yeah, curious decision there. I think people are anticipating the rain to come maybe earlier than that. And, yeah... now
for our top 4 as well.
Oh, who's going to win out on this one? Who should we jump to? It's Duncan Hoffman. Let's have a look at him. Who should we look at? Well, there's...
Lundy has got Duncan Hoffman. So did Pukki. So Pukki's up to 2nd.
Yeah.
Carter Lundy out of nowhere's up to a net 3rd.
Nicely done. So the unusual tyre strategy now, that's going to be interesting. You've got several people that are banking on the rain arriving much earlier than some others. So Pedreño, Soko and Noordijk are banking on the rain kind of arriving when we've been told around the 30-minute mark. I reckon those that have stayed on the soft tyres are anticipating the rain arriving early in that. If you look skywards, there's a lot of cloud up there now that most certainly was not there when we started this race. But this now leads the race, hands the race lead, I'll try again, to Luke Smith and Norbert Jakob. They're now going to have an argument for the top honours. 3 seconds back is Georges Nader with the Primoz Mikhlovic and Jeffrey Ritchie. So their battle will continue. Of course, the train behind, well, yeah, fastest lap, all changing hands. There goes Istvan Pukki on Bensu Sabacogni. Can he get it done? No, he's been held back. But Carter Lundy then, I think he got slightly put out of place a little bit, because he had to get out of the throttle here. Now the Aston Martin having a go on the Alfa Romeo, been boxed in behind the Red Bull. But no, he couldn't make the move because Bensu Sabacogni went to the defensive line and Carter Lundy had nowhere to go. And Duncan Hoffman side by side with the Aston Martin now coming up the hill through Ferragura into La Regina. And Duncan Hoffman, oh, nicely done. Jordan Poland wants in on the action as well. Oh, what a great sequence of events up. Well, not so much for Carter Lundy. Fair play for giving it a try. But Duncan Hoffland on the fresh soft. Oh, Carter having a look on the inside lines. We've seen that move already work once. Didn't quite pay off this time. Ooh, well. Lots of fighting going on here, but they are gaining on those medium starters still. That gap between Sabaconi and Jeffrey Ritchie is coming down pretty quickly. But this fight is just going to be never-ending.
It is, and if the rain is not enough for slicks, then you have to be on two different tyre combats. This man Pookie tries to get Sabaconi once again. Duncan Hoffland as well. Well, this is very, very exciting as they head towards the centre S's now as well. And the delta is about a second per lap. So they're going to be gaining on those medium runners in around about 8 laps time then. As Duncan almost tried to get past Carter Lundy. Does a brilliant set up the inside. They're still going side by side actually as Duncan Hoffland covers them off. Oh my God, we got Jordan Conan going the long way as well. Could get past Carter Lundy again in the process as well towards turn 7. And Duncan Hoffland just holds on. This is absolutely amazing stuff from these guys as well. Huge respect to all these drivers, not gonna lie. They are pushing it, but they don't want to push too much because their softs will die in about 10 laps time at the crossover point as well. I feel sorry for Carter Lundy though. Like he just can't get through at the moment, but we're sitting in a similar order to what we thought at the start, apart from Miss Van Bookie and Duncan Hoffland changing position. I think Carter Lundy's going to get Jordan Poland again, you know, but will it pay off this time? They're both going to take the short run. It's Van Bookie. It's going to be third time lucky. Yes, it is.
Is Van Pookie then up into 6th position, or the what will be the net lead when all the pit stops are done and dusted? But that, of course, puts him under fire from the Red Bull. Does Pookie go to the defensive line? No, he remains where he is. Surely this is now that would have been a straightforward move for Sabaconi to go for. He opted not to take it. He clearly bowed out of that. No, he did have a bit of breathing space behind him to Duncan Hoffland, so that was as safe as it could be. He didn't feel the need to immediately make the move. We're only at we're just about to hit the halfway stage in this race, so he's got time to try and make the move, but he's got a lot of pressure from behind. If he makes a mistake, he could well be in a world of trouble. Olaf Soko, having gotten past Ruben Pedreño last lap around, is within DRS range of this train, so that train's going to be 7 cars long by the time the Williams and the McLaren eventually catch up to them. But that gap is absolutely disappearing between Pookie and Ritchie now, because those medium tyres will be a bit past their best by this point. Eastman Pookie leading this particular back over the line. That gap's still there.
Sabaconi! Is he going to try to go down the inside? No. To no avail at the moment. I thought Duncan Hoffland was going to do that as well, but I don't think anyone's going to get sandwiched at this point. Primos actually gets past George Adair into turn 4. Yes, he does. So that is him up position. Sabaconi, turn 4. He's back in the race lead, Sabaconi. So he got the DRS that he needed to, and he's got the ERS as well. And I think I'm just trying to see if we can see some risk. The clouds are getting darker at the moment. It's not as clear as it was at the start of the race. The track temperatures will be getting colder. We have seen in Brazil in the past where it was very clear 1 minute and then the next minute it just got very dark very quickly. And there was a few questions in the chat saying why people have gone soft. For those of you that just joined us and have missed the start of the stream, it said it's going to rain at the 30-minute mark of the race. So it's going to be a dry to wet session. There's no point for the drivers to go on mediums because they know it's going to rain. Or will it rain at 30 minutes?
And will it rain hard enough is going to be the question. Luke Smith still leading the way. I can't look away from that soft pack too long because they are so close together. There is Primoz Mitrovic and now leads this small 3-car train with George Zaneda and Jeffrey Ritchie. Is the Red Bull going to have an argument with the Aston Martin up the hill? No, he's a little bit too far back. But Sabaconi then leading this particular pack up the hill towards Ferradura. He's not going to be attacked this time around, but look at the gaps between them. And Olaf Soko is slowly but surely catching them. And every time I look skywards, exactly as you were saying, Jess, those clouds are getting darker and darker. I think the sun has now gone. So
that was quick.
Yeah, the sun does look like it's disappeared. I'm not seeing any rain yet, but I don't reckon it's far away. But again, we still don't know when. I mean, it could be completely cloudy and not a drop falls. It could it could absolutely bucket it down. And there's the penalty board being opened up. Andre Tarabukin, the first to open the scoring that. But again, if the rain does fall as heavily as we think it will.
Pookie trying to get past Sabakunye once again. Then they're just like ding-dong battle between these two at the moment. This is incredible from the Alfa Romeo driver, but Sabakunye is going to have an open invitation maybe with the DRS, or will Isban close the door into turn 4? Indecino de Lago, he closes the door. Brilliant stuff. I think everyone's trying to defend for their life because they won't know when the rain is going to exactly come. They just got to drive for their lives at the moment, and those medium tyres, runners, their tyres are going to be absolutely cooked because in a normal race, it would have been enough to go onto the soft tyres. It's lap 20, nowhere near at the moment.
That's the thing, but you've got to remember they started outside of the top 10, so whilst they could have started on softs, I think they were anticipating the rain probably arriving around about now. Yeah, that was the gamble they were going on, but I mean, who knows? We may well get the alternate strategy may yet work. We may get absolutely none, as we're looking at Primož Mikljević under pressure from George's Nader once again. As this next back, there they are, you just saw them there coming through the shot as Pookie has just lost that 6th position back to Sabakonyi on board with the Mercedes. Duncan Offland nearly pushing his Van Pookie through. Oh, and the Red Bull's going to box in the Mercedes again, and Pookie now looks to the outside line into Decida Lago, and we've seen this boxing in manoeuvre before, and it didn't work. Well, it didn't really cause any particular change, and again the changes have reverted back to where they were. Sabakonyi ahead of Pookie, ahead of Hofland. Oh my goodness me, it happens so quickly, and because that's the fastest part of the circuit, if it does go wrong it'll be very, very dramatic. But now looking at the 3rd, 4th, 5th battle just to the back of the shot, and if we look backwards from Jeffrey Ritchie, you'll just about see them. You'll see the soft runners really closing in on them. There they are, just coming through Junshao. So yes, they are having their own battle. It looks like George's Nader is actually going to size up a move on Primož Mikljević. He's had to go onto the AstroTurf to do it, but the Red Bull has gotten ahead, and Duncan Hofland and Pookie have swapped round. Oh my goodness, 3 wide coming down into the first turn. The Red Bull just about manages to slot in behind so Duncan Hofland actually gained 2 positions there, I just realised, because he's got Isran Pookie and Benzi Sabakonyi. Now
net race lead.
Yeah, but Sabakonyi having a go again on Duncan Hofland, forcing the Mercedes to the outside line, just pushes him slightly wide. The Red Bull is back up into 6th.
And the heavens have opened, Chris.
Here it comes. But this could actually play into the hands of the medium starters. They would have liked the rain to have come a little bit earlier than this, but this actually brings Luke Smith and Norbert Yacker very much into this mixture, because they don't have to go onto the softs. If it rains hard, that's the crucial part, if it rains hard enough, that is what it could be. But this really could potentially completely change this. The sun is actually still coming through the clouds in certain spots, but that's going to make life for the soft runners particularly rather tricky, because those mediums though are absolutely ruined. So this could go absolutely any way, as we see Duncan Hofland having another go at Sabakonyi. Pookie as well on the outside line of the Red Bull. It is changing lap on lap. It's gone ball with Jordan Boland. Oh, Sabakonyi has had to take a bit of an avoiding action through the centre S's. That's given Duncan Hofland the momentum against the Ferrari, trying to bump trot. Jordan Boland trying to bump trot his Van Pookie. These cars aren't built to do it. Side by side, Primož Mikljević gets his name on the penalty board. The Ferrari's forced wide. Oh my goodness me, that could have gone horribly wrong. Here comes Jordan Boland again. He opts not to banzai that one on the inside line of Ferrigura. Oh my goodness me.
This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. No one is on. Well, it's on. Well, not quite on the cusp at the moment, but it's so slippery at the moment. But you don't really want to be going on to the Inters just yet, because it won't be enough. You'll be burning your tyres a bit more as well. But do you risk it at the moment? You don't really want to risk it now. But the ones who will risk it are the ones near the back, Tarabukin, Martins, because they have the least to lose out of this in this situation as well, like Daniel Ricciardo in Imola a few weeks ago, as Jordan Poland gets past Sabaconi, or does he not? He could get the switch back actually. Oh my goodness, into the centre. S's then almost a bit of a slide there as well. That's allowing Duncan Hoffman, Isman Pookie to pull away and work together here. So Jordan Poland to the right hand side this time into turn 4. It's a brilliant defensive move from the Red Bull driver, and he is holding on to P3. Well, he's not at P3 anymore unless it doesn't become intermediate wider. This is not for a net position, it's actually for P8 and P7. Duncan Hoffman does get past Jeffrey Ritchie, or does he?
Oh, outside line of Perodino. Great move there, Duncan Hoffman. Carter Lundy as well is trying to...
Mikovic.
Yeah.
I think the memes are starting to die. Duncan Hoffman could still win this one if the rain doesn't come hard enough until he catches up, but we will see. We'll keep an eye on see if Luke Smith does anything today.
Yeah, those mediums have had it, but the rain is beginning to fall now. So you are starting to see it stream down the camera. Is anyone going to pick? Jeffrey Ritchie has gone for it, and so is Sabaconi. That's too early. Surely that's too early. We're not seeing any kind of standing weather. They are anticipating it to absolutely chuck it down. Intermediate tyres for the Red Bull. Joost Noordijk is in as well. So Jeffrey Ritchie, they are taking the gamble that he's going to absolutely hoy it down. And there's no immediate sign of it. The sun is still pointing through at certain spots. This could play...
DRS enable still.
Yes, exactly. That's too early. Isvan Pookie has just dispatched Primož Miklovic. Like you said, those medium tyres are absolutely mullered. But again, those medium runners, those medium starters might have felt they had no choice. They may have been running very, very close to puncture puncture territory. They may have felt they had no choice. But we will see now. Terry Buchan is on the intermediate tyres. And look at that, Jeffrey Ritchie really, really slow, trying to keep those intermediate tyres from burning up entirely. There's Sabaconi, who's been leading the race up until now. Primož Miklovic is now just fallen behind Olaf Soko.
Luke's in, Norbert Jacobs in, everyone's going in, Chris.
Yeah, Hoffman, everyone's coming in, so they're anticipating the rain to absolutely chuck it down now. And the one that is playing, Ruben Pedreño's rolled the dice. He's not having it yet, and I wonder that might go the McLaren's way. It really depends how well he can.
Getting slippery though.
It is
slippery. It may be too late for him. We will see. We'll keep an eye on who was the first person. Jeffrey Ritchie. Jeffrey Ritchie could have played a blinder here. If it was this lap, he would have been fine. But he's still going to gain masses anyway due to the undercut. So this could still work out for him. So,
yeah.
No, not quite.
So
not
Luke,
quite, but still, he's gained a lot than he was intended. Luke Smith, by 9/10 of a second, is the race leader. Norbert Jakob P2, and on debut on the PC side, George is
Nader. Well played. Fair play. And in fairness to Ruben Pedreño, he's not completely falling off the road, but you can really see now.
Lando Norris.
Yeah. Don't.
I'm not going to say what trap, don't worry. I'm not going to say what trap, but Ruben has to come in now, doesn't he? He has to come.
He's not. Pedreño's carried on.
Well, at least he's pitted earlier, so it's not a Carter Lundy situation.
Well, what does he do? And the only thing I can think of is Pedreño thinks the rain is not going to be heavy enough, but that's all going to be down. Can Luke Smith catch him? If not, and the rain doesn't get any heavier, Pedreño, he could win this race. Even if it gets really, really slippery, he's got 12.5 seconds to play with. Those medium tyres will certainly last the remaining, 6-7 laps? So those medium tyres will last long enough. Oh, that is a gamble and a half for Pedreño, as Duncan Hoffman's just made his way past Georges Nader now for 4th place. All bets are off now. Less than 12 seconds between Luke Smith and Ruben Pedreño. It's not raining that hard, and still seeing, and that camera shot would show, there's still sun poking through at certain points. Now the DRS is disabled. Terry Buchan's just come in again, so I'm assuming he's had trouble somewhere.
He's still going now. We just no, he's not.
Just as we mentioned that, he's had enough. He's got his AI has rubbed salt in the wound.
Jess.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
He doesn't care what I say.
his AI is rubbed salt in the,
Ruben!
his AI is rubbing salt in the wound, is Tarabukin, because he's put his car's now on soft tyres. I mean, that is brave. Yeah, Mr. Pedroni, I admire your Spanish enthusiasm, sir, but okay, we'll see how it goes. I mean, for all we know, this is a...
If it works, then fair play.
Yeah.
If it works. Even Tim said in the chat, if Pedronia wins, he's so happy at the moment.
Oh, it'll be absolutely incredible. But Luke Smith still has Norbert Jakob for company. Let's have a look at where's Duncan Hoffman. Oh, there's there's Andre Tarabukin's now very slow Alpine that's putting people off. That doesn't look ghosted actually. So yeah, only wonder it's putting people off. There's Duncan Hoffman, 2.8 seconds behind Norbert Jakob. So Duncan will be certainly challenging for those podium positions. But I'm still very much keeping an eye on the Spanish McLaren at the moment.
Gap stopping fast, Chris. He's not going to keep the lead.
Sure,
I think it's going to
not
go
at this
into
rate.
Luke Smith's favour.
But it all depends on when and if that rain stops. If it's just a real quick burst of rain and then it stops, then this still could swing back to Ruben Pedronia as well. At the moment, he's absolutely hopeless. But I guess he's ridden the train. He's committed to this now. Yep, he's gone past the pit lane entrance again.
Oh my God.
He may as well try it. He may as well just stick with it, because if he pits now, he's right at the back. So you never know. We'll see what happens here. As we see Luke Smith and Norbert Jakob still arguing for the, well, we say race lead, it could actually still be second, but they'll now see the McLaren. There is Ruben Pedronia right ahead of them, falling like a stone. But if that rain does stop, those those intermediates are just going to absolutely evaporate. I'm not convinced that Ruben Pedronia is going to get away with this, but again, you never know. We will see.
Well, Luke Smith within about a second almost of Ruben Pedronia at the moment as we head towards the final sector soon. And you can see the grip that he's losing with Pedronia. Luke Smith, or they almost make it there, these two. Luke Smith is definitely your race lead. Oh, that was close between Ruben Pedronia and Norbert Jakob. Norbert Jakob just wants to get past as quickly as he can. And you just got to take risks at this point, like I said earlier on as well. And all this allowing Luke Smith just to pull away 1.3 seconds as well. Duncan Hoffman has got to do the same thing right now, which he does. He finds it a bit more comfortable than Norbert Jakob there as well, but he overtook in Jung Sao there, which was great to see at the moment. I think Ruben Pedronia may have to stay out, but he's probably going to be last anyway. So Ruben Pedronia is dropping down to 6th place. What could have been for Ruben Pedronia is a shame, but sometimes that happened in league racing. It's George almost being passed there, but it's Bambuki. Carl Lundy gets passed as well from Ruben Pedronia, because Ruben Pedronia has dropped down into 8th. Biggest gain is obviously Luke Smith up 10, Norbert Jakob up 11, George up 12, Carter Lundy up 4, Jeffrey Ritchie up 7, the first person to make the call onto the Inters. If he went when everyone else did, he probably would have been outside the points anyway, so he's done very well, and Primos just outside the points.
Indeed. Whoa, there goes Pedronia. The soft tyres just cannot hold now. As,
Medium, do you mean?
Well, slick tyres is what I actually meant, but see, yeah, either way, his tyres just cannot hold now, and he's ended up last anyway. He tried the very alternate strategy. It was a decent risk, but sadly has not paid off for the Spaniard. But this gives Luke Smith 1.1 over Norbert Jakob. Duncan Hoffman now about 1.6 seconds behind Norbert, as we look at Ace Van Pookie challenging Georges Nader for 4th place now. We still have plenty of racing left to conclude with 5 laps remaining.
I think it's like Ruben Pedronia is doing like a bit of rallycross or something like that, doing the Joker or something like that. But yeah, it's very, very weird. But anyway, the battle of the lead could still change, because you never know, Norbert Jakob could be very, very good in the wet. Still position to be changed for the top 4 at least, with Pookie still on George's radar at the moment. And I don't know, someone could make a mistake and it could all be over right now. And it is starting to get even more raining at the moment, so even though there's still a bit of sun trying to peek out saying please come out at the moment. And it's going to get to a point that Jonah Martins may catch up to Ruben Pedreño sooner or later as well. Sabaconye, well, with a few people pitting earlier than intended, they lost a lot of positions because of it.
Yeah, they absolutely did. So Sabaconye is basically fighting to be in the points rather than fighting for the top spot of the podium. A great shape. Duncan Hoffland, though, is really mounting a challenge for further up the podium spot. As Istvan Pukki still on the back. That's the wrong car. Still on the back of Georges Nader as the Red Bull really defensive coming down the hill into the centre S's. Can the Alfa Romeo do anything about it? Of course, they don't have the advantage of DRS now. Georges Nader going straight to that defensive line. I don't think Istvan Pukki is. He's been fairly brave on the brakes all race long, but that's not going to go his way. Now, he has made this work on the inside line of Langina and SA before. He's a bit too far back to make it work this time, but he's really keeping the pressure on the Red Bull for that race lead. What am I on about? For that fourth position. But Duncan Hoffland now less than 8 tenths behind Norbert Jakob. He's got the race lead in sight. Can he do it? We certainly got the ability to do it. Has he got enough time is the main question.
Well, I'm just trying to see if a few people have a few more time as well, because, well, you can see Duncan's still in that train, but they're sliding everywhere as well. You don't use as much ERS in the rain, but it's going to get to a point where you think, oh, you have enough, but you realise you have none at all as Ruben Pedreño spins again. And he's probably going to get lapped soon if he's not careful. Yeah, Jonah Martins is going to pass him soon as well. Oh my goodness me. That is not good. So Ruben Pedreño's dropped from first place all the way down into last position right now as well. Duncan's the only driver inside the top 10 to have not gained or lost any positions. And we think he hasn't moved anywhere. But he has. He's made a lot of positions this race, and he's had a lot of battles as well. And to be fair, he's played the right strategy today as well in terms of his tyres. He's very well on the soft compounded tyres as well. Throughout the ones who was in that battle, obviously Duncan Hoffland came the highest, but I think it's coming down to the alternate strategy runners today. 2.2 seconds is Luke Smith and Norbert Jakob right now. I don't think it's going to change, but you never know at the moment. Either one of those two can make a mistake, but with Simon Peregni not here, this could be a good opportunity for Luke Smith to close up in his championship. I'll need to look at the gap actually between Simon Peregni and Luke Smith for today. It is 16 points exactly, so they will be tied on points. They will be tied on points at the end of this race if Luke Smith wins this race.
Wow, goodness me, with only 2 rounds remaining after this, it's all or nothing between Simon Peregni and Luke Smith for the title. And yeah, you know who's been there. Oh no, I think Pedreño and Jonah Martins have come together. Yeah, they did. They actually came together. So Ruben Pedreño is ghosted. So is actually Jonah Martins. Yeah, and they're actually ghosting inside one another. So yeah, that's how Formula 1 cars are made. We'll move away from that one, but a fair play. Actually, I'm going to give a shout out to this man, Georges Nader. He's gained the most positions out of anybody on this field so far, and in his debut race in F2. Absolute fair play. Nomination for Driver of the Day as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely brilliant stuff for Georges Nader. As Norbert Jakob's got it all to do now, as Duncan Hoffland has found him. As we stream over the line once again, Luke Smith will start the penultimate lap with a 2.3 second advantage.
Yeah, I figured it's all his at the moment, and the yellow flags keep going by for Jonah Martins right now, so ignore those because there's green flags everywhere else as well. There still could be positions gained throughout the grid, so forget Jordan Poland's got a time penalty, so does Primos as well, so that will allow the likes of Jeffrey Ritchie to potentially gain a place there, maybe Soko as well, and Sabaconye. Sabaconye at the moment look like he could get a point still as well. Someone random has joined the session. Okay, luckily the race is about to end anyway, so that's fine. I wonder if Duncan Hoffland is going to leave it a little bit late. I think he is at the moment as well, so Norbert Jakob could have less pressure, but you want the DRS going into the start-finish straight. I don't know. It could be a photo finish for all we know as well, so we have to wait and see right now. But we've got 1.5 laps to go of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and this could be a crucial race in this title fight as well. Simon Baroni kind of wished he wasn't missing this race, but with him missing this race, it just makes the championship even more exciting. Duncan Offland is in this fight as well in the championship, so that could be kind of interesting as well. I think Duncan Offland will move up to a joint. I think he'd be third actually at the moment. So see, Duncan Offland, can he get past Norbert? No. I wonder if he just stay behind and just keep the points, to be honest, because I don't think neither Duncan and Norbert Jakob are anywhere near in the championship, so they've both got nothing to lose at this point. So I don't think Duncan is going to fight it just yet. But they're running out of ERS, look, into turn 4.
That's probably what's letting the Mercedes down. I love Jonas Martin's enthusiasm going on to soft tyres at this point. And now actually he's doing some lawn mowing. Yes, 10-second corner cut penalty because he's just completely missed the S30, which is the one we're coming up to here. This could be a little bit awkward for our leaders if they catch the seemingly dancing Pedreño and Jonas Martins at a bit of an awkward point, but we will see. And a penalty from another one for Miklovic. That could well drop him behind Joost Noordijk, but he's not going to make a difference to the point scoring element at the moment. On board with Luke Smith coming into Junshao, and well, there you can see Jonas Martins on soft tyres. Well, yeah, make of that what you will, but your winner here in Brazil in what's been an enthralling race is the race clutch signing of Luke Smith. Norbert Jakob will come home second, just ahead of Duncan Hoffland. George Nader in his maiden race in this tier in fourth. Isran Pukki fifth. Carter Lundy sixth. Jeffrey Ritchie seven. Olaf Soko eight. Bence Sobekoni from leading the race will finish in ninth. Jordan Poland 10. Joost Noordijk 11. Primoz Miklovic will come home in 12th. And Pedreño and Martins have got to do another lap on their soft tyres. Well, serves you right.
Martins, he's crossed
Oh, Jonas Martins hasn't, so Ruben Pedreño does. Well, serves you right.
Oh God, what a race for Luke Smith. Is it his third win of the season? I don't even know.
Something like
now.
that.
I'm losing count at the moment as well, and I mean, we've got Imola next week and we've got Bahrain, all brings crazy races as well. And it's going to be Alpine versus, I can't remember what car Simon Perrin, he's in Alfa Romeo versus Mercedes for this title fight. And
Luke Smith's AI is pushing Ruben Pedreño.
Ruben Pedreño got a puncher. I think he has.
I don't think he cares at this point. He's probably having a lot of fun. I was going to say he's probably having a lot of fun. Yeah, it's entertaining. I would give him that. But he's in the wall. Oh, there we go. He lost a wheel in sight of the line. Oh, goodness
that's a shame.
me.
I think he's classified though, but 3 laps down.
Driver of the day, George Nader. I would second that, as he's done a stunning job under a lot of pressure as well. But it's another win for Luke Smith. Yeah, we've seen that. We questioned that podium celebration before, I seem to remember. So yeah, fair play. You can't take it away from Luke Smith, but yeah, brilliant performance. It was a decent gamble for those that tried to pit early, but he just completely bit them on the backside. But yeah, Luke Smith was the one in the right place at the right time.
Yep, he was, and so was Norbert Jakob as well. We kept him loose, but again, Luke Smith was only a tenth quicker in the dry than Norbert Jakob there as well. So pretty incredible. The fastest lap. The person who will get the fastest lap point will be Carter Lundy. So he gets the points for 6th place plus the extra fastest lap point. So good job to him.
Fair play, well done. Considering his issues last time out with tyre choices and what have you, comes home with the fastest lap point. Fair play. Great stuff there for Carter Lundy. We'll give our drivers an opportunity to come and have a chat to us. They don't have to, but it is always nice to have a chat with them to see what they're feeling at the end of that one. Of course, we always want to have a chat with our podium 3, Luke Smith, Norbert Jakob and Duncan Hoffland. Yeah, what a race that was. We very much look forward to seeing whoever is going to come along. Oh my goodness, it gives me an opportunity to actually catch up on what's next. I want to say it's Imola is exactly what you were just saying, wasn't it? I had it in my head it was Canada for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah.
Maybe another league, Chris.
I'm dedicated to PSGL as far as my F1 commentary is concerned.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Imola next Thursday, and then the week after for the championship finale, we've got Bahrain. So those are our final 2 rounds of F2.
Lovely stuff. So just 2 more races to go in what has been a bit of a disrupted season for PSGL for all tiers concerned. But yeah, such is the nature of the beast. We really could not have gone racing with the desync issues that were going on at the time, but thankfully they've been resolved pretty quickly and successfully from Codemasters. We thank them for that. But wow, that is really going to spice things up at the top end of the field. Luke Smith drawing level with Simon Perroni. Just have a look at yes, that was indeed the 3rd win for Luke Smith. Now, Simon Perroni will actually be behind Luke Smith because Simon only has 2 wins to his name. So yeah, Luke Smith, strictly speaking, will be in the lead. But with 2 rounds to go, anything is most certainly possible. I really, really hope we do have very much a clash of the titans going on between those 2 in particular. Of course, Duncan Offland scoring very, very well this time around. He's had a very turbulent season, I think it's fair to say, but the tail end of it has really come his way. Of course, Thomas Ronhar was actually still 2nd. Such was his real strong grip of the season leading up to this point. We have one of our podium sitters ready to have a chat to us. Excellent. It is the FES driver of Norbert Jakob.
Hey.
Well, hello there, Norbert Jakob. So, playing the alternate strategy to start with, starting from outside the top 10 and coming home with the podium. You've got to be quite pleased with that.
Yeah, I mean, my strategy was to start on the mediums. I was improving on my quali lap time on my last run, but decided to lift up the throttle so I could start on the mediums because we were aware of a rain coming later in the race. So I decided to risk it and see how it works out. And it was just on the limit because if the rain arrived 1 lap later, then I would have got a puncture. So it was just on the cusp, but yeah, it worked out, and I'm really delighted with this result because I always have incidents during the races. So finally, finally I could achieve a podium, which is amazing for me, and I'm speechless.
Great stuff. I mean, you really must have felt quite under pressure because you had Duncan really chasing you down a lot particularly towards the end of the race. Did you really feel the pressure from the Mercedes behind, or were you just concentrating on keeping it on the island?
It was quite disturbing, but I was in the same voice chat with my teammate Istvan Puki, and he told me that it's almost impossible to overtake. So when he said that, I became a bit calmer. So yeah, but I definitely felt the pressure.
So it's Imola next time around. Is that a track you look forward to?
Not at all.
Oh dear. Well, we wish you the best of luck for the remaining couple of rounds. Great podium. Well done, Norbert Jakob.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Speaking of the Mercedes driver, let's have a chat with the one and only Duncan Hoffland.
Whoa.
Oh, nearly the 2nd spot, but you gave it everything you had in what was a very, very, very mixed race. Talk us through it from your side.
Well, first of all, it was the strategy, of course. In qualifying, we saw that it was going to rain after around 30 minutes in the race, so I was thinking about going mediums or softs, but at the end decided to go softs. And I mean, start was good. Went for the inters as the first runner on my strategy, so that was nice. Had some good battles as well. Then could overtake Georges, and then closed up to the cars up in front, but just couldn't get past because of the dirty air.
There must have been a bit of a worry though when you pitted. When you did, was there a concern that you may have maybe pitted a bit too early?
Do you mean when I pitted from softs to softs or from softs to inters?
Softs to inters.
No, I think we pitted at the right time. My teammate Joost went 1 lap earlier and he said the grip is fine. And of course, it was gonna start raining harder and harder. So then you have to go into the pits as the pace on the softs also dropped quite much. So yeah, I think we made the right strategy call.
Excellent stuff. Imola next week. Is that a track you look forward to?
Nope.
Another one that doesn't like it. Well,
Yeah.
we wish you the best of luck nonetheless, and a great podium. Really enjoyed watching you race this time around. Thank you very much, Duncan Hofland.
Thank you.
And we have got race winner number 3 in the books for Luke Smith.
Hello.
Wow, what a race. I mean, were you worried at all that the alternate strategy wasn't going to pay off, or were you pretty confident that the rain was going to come along at the right time?
Well, I wasn't feeling I wasn't feeling too confident about my my qualifying pace, especially when I saw like such quick lap times, like straight out of the blocks with like a low 6.2 from I think it was Bent Sabakonyi. So I thought I'm going to try something different. If I'm outside the top 10, I'll go for the alternative strat, and we'll see what happens from there. It was very touch and go in the end. I think I had about 75-76% wear on my front right on the mediums, but it was just about good enough, and yeah, it was a risk that was definitely worth taking.
Goodness me. And after you were on the wet tyres, you were fairly unchallenged. The gap just continued to increase to Norbert and Duncan behind you. So a fairly easy run, was it?
Initially, no, but it got easier as the stint progressed, because initially it was actually the lap we pitted for inters I think was slightly too early. If we'd gone like maybe 1 lap longer, then the inters would have been like, that would have been the perfect lap to pit, either 25 or 26. But yeah, I didn't really have that option, and thankfully everyone followed me in. But yeah, we had an overheating, particularly like on the front right, because I kept locking up because of the dry setup. It was quite understeery, so I had to sort of adapt and drive around that. But once I did, I felt super confident and was just able to push and build a bit of a gap.
And what are your thoughts towards Imola next week?
An interesting track for me in the past, to say the least. But one I enjoy driving. It's good for hot lapping. It doesn't lend itself to the best of racing, but I'm sure we'll have an exciting one next time out nonetheless.
Oh, PSGL always finds a way to deliver, and we look forward to it nonetheless. So this, if our calculations are correct, it brings you level with Simon Perroni heading into the final 2 rounds. You got to be looking at the title at this point, surely.
It's definitely in my mind. But yeah, obviously, it wasn't exactly the most hard-earned today, because obviously Simon wasn't able to attend. But yeah, looking forward to the close fight in the final 2 races.
As are we. Best of luck for the final 2 rounds. Thank you very much, Luke Smith.
Thank you.
And that is going to be it for tonight's festivities. Thank you very much to those that have been with us live, either live or post-event. Very much enjoy your company along for the ride. Thank you very much, Jess, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. It's a difficult job, but you weather it well. It's always a pleasure to have you in the box with me, dear lady.
No worries, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the final 2 rounds are going to fare next week. Obviously, we've got next week at Imola at the same time, and then the following week we've got Bahrain as well. So should be very, very interesting. And of course, we've got the F1 tier on a day before us with Ginger Andy and Dan Field. So I think both the races there should be pretty good.
Absolutely. So you know where to find us. Same time next week for the penultimate round of the season. It's looking very, very hot with the points tied between Simon Perroni and Luke Smith. Come along for the ride. It's going to be a good one. Until then, thank you very much and good night.